All right, guys, this next topic that we're gonna be talking about is gonna be the topspin push dink. Keep in mind that anytime that we hit a push dink, we have to feel like we're in control of the dinking exchange. That means that the dink coming at you isn't pushing you off the court, isn't pulling you out of position, and usually it's probably coming off a lift. It's coming off a lift dink where it's bouncing up a little higher, you have some time, you can take a little step back. But hitting a push dink is necessary in select areas. Just keep in mind that when you use a push dink, it has to be very selective, meaning that you have to be in control of the exchange. So some of the technique nuggets that I think about as I'm adding topspin into my push dink. I think something that should be said here is that if you like hitting topspin drops from the baseline, then it would make sense that you utilize that same technique as you're hitting a dink. Why? Because your third shot drop technique is a modified dink essentially. So if you like using topspin with your drop, it would make sense that you utilize the same sort of philosophy or the same technique on your dink. But when I'm thinking about adding topspin, I guess when I'm thinking about adding spin, I'm thinking in terms of less is more. A little bit of spin goes a long ways. So as I'm using topspin, I'm not using my wrist. I'm not yanking this thing over. I'm more so just kind of kissing the outside edge of the ball, giving it a little soft tissue massage. But I think the phrase that a little bit of spin goes a long ways makes a lot of sense. Okay, we don't have to overcreate. We don't have to overdo it. Know that we are playing with a plastic ball that is very sensitive. So we're just looking to get a little bit of top spin. We're just looking to get a little bit of brush on the outside edge of the ball just to get the ball to go down a bit more. But if I were to put a clock on the ball here, 12, 3, 6, and 9, as I'm hitting a forehand push dink, I'm going to be catching the ball at 3 o'clock. Okay? Catching the ball at 3 o'clock. If I'm hitting a backhand topspin push, I'm going to be catching the ball at 9 o'clock. Also too, some of the technique with my arm, okay? If there was a rubber band or if there was a string attached to my wrist and it also attached to my shoulder and my hips, as I'm hitting this topspin push dink, all those units work together. So think about the organization or think about the unity of your mechanics kind of being like a math equation. Things have to be correct from start to finish. And in this situation or in this shot here, everything should be flowing together and all the big pieces are gonna work as a unit. So now we're gonna be using topspin in this drill setting. So what's gonna take place here is that we're gonna be dinking back and forth. We are both looking to be offensive with that topspin push dink, but we're only looking to be offensive with our push dink when we have time, when we're stable in the correct location, when the ball is in yellow. Just keep in mind that when you're using that push dink, that all the little pieces have to be there. Make sure that that your preparation and your organization is like a math equation. Things have to be correct from start to finish. Okay. In this drill setting, so we're both looking to push when necessary. We are also looking to use a reset dink when we get pulled out in the outside quadrant. This is the outside quadrant. Also too, on this side over here, this is the outside quadrant. I would say a common tendency with higher level dinking is that we get pulled out of position and we want to look to reset that ball back cross court versus reset it back in the middle. Okay, so dinking back and forth, looking to be offensive, using that topspin push dink, and then resetting when we get pulled out in the outside quadrant. And then also too, if we get pulled wide enough and the ATP is available, you can look to hit you can look to hit the ATP. Okay, Jim, you ready here, buddy? Yep. Okay, let's do it. Okay, dinking back and forth. Okay, resetting back in the middle. Okay, there we go. Start working my topspin push out of the air or off the bounce. Okay. Jen, that is very nice of you. Very nice of you. Okay. Okay, resetting back in the middle. Move him around. Up, up, up. Reset back in the middle. See that there? Anytime that I'm on my back foot, anytime that my feet are still moving, I probably shouldn't be hitting a push dink, okay? That should always result in a lift dink.